Hi fig friends. Today we're gonna talk about newly rooted cuttings. I know lots of you guys have rooted a lot of cuttings over the winter, and now it might be ready to be shipped. I just wanted to talk about them, the difference, some tips about it. So these were rooted last winter. Surprising. Yes, they don't change in size. They look just like other rooted cuttings that are just made maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, but they are different in age.
Can we keep it?
Yes. What I'm telling you is this is a tree pot. Mostly these are sold online.
Can we give it to people when it's ready?
Yes. These are sold online, but when you feel here, the roots are packed. Like this would be something shippable. There are some that look like this, but when I up-pot it, when I receive it as is, there are barely very small roots. Like they are not the same. And some, like this, I take it out, it's a solid piece, and I up-pot it. That's what I would expect when I buy something like this.
Hey, I see the hand.
But often I am surprised by, lack of roots. From a size like this, it's like barely rootable. And yeah, it made it here, but how can I tell that it was not a dense root? Because they are grown in the greenhouse, and when I put it in my greenhouse, the leaves all droop, and there's some that it looks just the same. I haven't done anything, but their leaves are still holding. They have stronger roots, you see, so they are more prepared for shipping, and this one, this is last year's. Oops, you didn't see that. These tree pot need some help, and there's some that I have heard they are quart size, but they were up-potted too soon, like this, to make it look like it's actually that much root. And by the time you get home, during the shipping, you pull it out, the root's barely little. It's like this much. So you can see this one, it's from last year, and you can see I wouldn't ship that. This is my preference. I only share locally. But it does bother me that if the roots is more suitable for here, then it should stay in this size so the buyer know that the roots are this much. I don't really like it when the roots are only this size and it is put in a 1 gallon, and by the time it gets to the buyers like me, would you move it or anything, you will find out that it was just newly rooted from here and it was switched over here. I think it would have been more better if it was kept in here, sold as is, and when the buyer gets here, we would up-pot it when it's ready. Then during the transition, the tree won't suffer. So you want to minimize the chances of any transplant shock or any stress to the trees. I think it might seem easy for some to root these, but my God, these babies, I have a tough time rooting cuttings, so I love every single one of them. And to me, these are 1 year old, and I think it's so beautiful because it is a piece of cutting that is alive. Then it can become a tree. But during this time, it's pretty fragile. I know we might be excited to get new varieties, but you want to get the variety and have it be healthy and not just get it and then during transition it dies somehow because it's not ready to be shipped. So newly rooted cuttings, you can see how tough that root is. I can ship this thing if I want, but I'm just not a shipper. But I would say, you know, hold up on shipping. Wait until it's really ready to be shipped. Then sell it. Otherwise, if it's not solid enough and it's very loose soil, you know, it does get to us as buyers, but it's not sturdy enough, let's say so, to stand some toughness of USPS, you know, what do you say, boxing and throwing and all sorts of things like that by the time it gets to us. So I just wanted to talk about this because some newbies will be surprised, you know, why certain rooted cuttings. We have a lot of sellers on Fitbit that I really love because their quality, they are expensive because their quality is there. When, you know, they sell 1-year-old plant, and that's why there's a price that's more a part of their reputation. And there are cheaper ones that are sometimes not as well rooted, and there's more risk involved. You know, I rather buy something that is ready to be shipped and it's a little more pricey than to have to replace, you know, little ones and it dies on me. So it's just the time that I spent to take care of it, and I have to acquire another one, wait until next year, and you know, that's another year wasted. So I hope newbies enjoy this quick video of what I think about as a buyer buying, you know, cuttings this season. It's getting started. I know there are some still buying cuttings, but there are already trees, rooted trees that are being sold. Just make sure, you know, I wish sometimes sellers would tell us when it was rooted. That would kind of help. And I love it when sellers do show a picture, you know, of the bottom of like how well it is rooted. Those sellers I really like and appreciate because I know what I'm getting.